All right, I guess we're here live, the Hodo Show and the other viewpoint for the first time on YouTube. Gotta learn how to do this stuff brand new. First time ever done. And hey, want to welcome you, of course, to the Hodo Show and the other viewpoint.
And hey, want to welcome you, of course.
And we want to check it on the phone to make sure it's working the streaming as well. So it's good to see your cell phone at the same time on TV, ain't it? Anyway, even if it is on the internet. We are sure that you share us on Facebook. Go to the OVP. Just type in OVP Web Network on YouTube, and then find us going live. And then you can share it to Facebook. That's how you do that. Share it to Facebook, and you'll be able to log into the conversation. Now, if you want to get in on this thing, it's going to be one phone number, and that is 313-685-6777. 313-685-6777. And you'll be able to just live on Facebook and share us to your heart's content and get in on the conversation, the whole hookup. That's how you do it. So let's see if I can share it first, see if I'm just talking to y'all or if it really works. So I'll Twitter, so you can catch in and log in right now. And then we're going to share it to that's it, not tweet it. But anyway, go back to Twitter again and see if we can get this thing going on strong. We'll share it on Twitter. Oh, it's already said that. Okay, so you guys already have that particular post on Twitter. They're going to let me put it up there again, letting you know that we were coming live. But right now, we're going to go over to LinkedIn and connect over there so you guys can be able to catch us over there. All of this is the first time. After this first time, you won't get all this commentary. I hate narration when people be talking. It really irks me. I'm doing it myself right now. It irks me, man. So we're going to make sure that we keep this thing going on live and strong. Looks like the volume on here is a little low. So we're going to try to pick the volume up a little bit on the, let me stand up just for a second, and I really didn't want to do that, but I'm looking at the volume, and it looks a little low. Let's see if that's better. Did that do any better? A little bit. So volume is right. You're sharing it to LinkedIn. Now we're going to go over to Facebook. If you guys can catch us on Facebook Live right now, I'm going to share it to one person, and they'll let us know in the background if they got it. When we share it, they'll nod their head. They got it on their page. And we shall see, as they say. We shall see what we shall see. We can give her a little bit of a tag here, demonstrations on TV, live on the web, all of that stuff. Again, this is, of course, the OVP Web Network, our very first broadcast, and we are trying our best to kick this thing in on the high note. And when you're doing everything yourself and you've never done it before, sometimes it is an experience that is beyond any other. We'll see if they're tagged in that particular thing, and if they can click on it and see if it'll come up on Facebook. Check Facebook and see if you hear anything. Then we'll know if we're actually live, and anybody can tell whether or not we're here. You got to play it to see if it's live. Are we live? You got to play it to see if it's live. Yes, we're live. Okay. So, so we are on Facebook. Okay, you can cut us off over there. We've done our checks. We've done it twice and made it kind of nice. And this is what we do. Again, this is, of course, the Hodo Show and the Other Viewpoint. And I Yes, I am your brother, if there is no other. I'm Hodo. Who are you? And for those of you who are seeing me for the very first time, give you a little background. I've been in broadcasting now, hate to tell you this, about 30 years. Really, about 30 years I've been in broadcasting and studied radio and TV journalism at Grambling State University. That's right, I went to a black college. Also, worked at a TV station, Channel 33, TV 33, 88.1 FM for about 20 years. And we've been in the streets doing all kinds of things. And we usually bring you the information that you can use. That's what we do here on the Hodo Show and the other Viewpoint. Now, some of you may say, Hodo, this is kind of I know it is. I don't know what happened right there. It looked like the mic closed up. But anyway, again, we're learning this thing as we go so that maybe the next time we'll be a whole lot smoother. Okay? Now, what are we supposed to talk about tonight? Do any of you know? Now, you can call in again at 313-685-6777. That's 313-685-6777. I know it's going to be a little slow. It's a Saturday evening. It's warm outside. And I know you're trying to enjoy your weekend. But, you know, we always try to find something to bring to you to inform you. At least we have in the past. Now, another thing to add to my background, I've been off the air now, closing in on 6 years. So this is our very first broadcast in 6 years. So, you know, we have a little kinks in it. Understand why it ain't that your brother just tripping. We're trying to work this thing out. So as we kick in this evening with the festivities, we want to make sure that all of you understand what we're trying to do. What we do here is bring you the very best, that's right, not the half best, but the very best in edutainment. And what does that mean exactly? Well, the very best in edutainment means that we bring you education, entertainment, information, news. We give you everything that you can possibly use, that kind of thing. It rhymed a little bit, but you got a slow flow. All right. So tonight, what we want to do is that we want to discuss a few things. We got a guest that we'll be bringing in momentarily, and we're going to be discussing this opioid thing. And you know how all of the folks have been talking about, oh, so many people are dying of opioids, and they have. So many people are getting high, and they are. It's a tragedy and a crisis, and it is. But there are also the ones on the other side of that coin. And they are the ones that legitimately need their medicine. They legitimately need their medicine. And since this so-called opioid thing has been flowing, they've been cutting back on the medicine that goes to those who truly need it. So we're going to be talking to a young lady about that. Also, we want to talk about the Republican convention and the Democratic convention. And I want you guys to give me a call if you can and let me know what you thought about that. And then I'll give you a few of my little insights and stuff that I saw. And then we also want to discuss these things about the coronavirus. It is deadly. We all admit to that. But there are many of you out there who have been perpetrating a fraud. I repeat, there are many of you out there that have been perpetrating a fraud. You've been telling folks to do all these strange things, telling folks to put a bunch of lemons and limes in a pot and boil it and stick your head over a boiling pot. Really? I ain't gonna go into no more of that right now. But y'all been telling people that. And you also got the folks who refuse to wear masks. because it violates my rights in the Constitution. The Constitution don't mention jack about no mask, man. Stop lying. It says it gives you liberty, life, and a pursuit of happiness. That's what the Constitution says. Liberty means you got freedom, but your freedom only extends as far as the next person's inner space. Life means that you do everything to protect your life and not do any things that will destroy someone else's lives. Happiness. Everybody be happy in the mud when it's corona gone and folks stop dying. So let's quit tripping on that. So these are a few of the things that we're going to discuss tonight. So I just wanted you all to get locked in with that. So right now, we're going to give you an opportunity. Call in again, 313-685-6777. That's 313-685-6777. Give us a call if you want to lock in on any of those topics. Also, we want to send out our condolences to our brother, Chadwick Boseman, our brother who played many roles, but his last role, or one of his last roles, was the most outstanding that across the board everyone remembers. He played the Black Panther. So we want to send our condolences to his family, friends, loved ones, and all of us in the audience who love to watch his movies where he played Thurgood Marshall, whether he played baseball, whether he played whatever he played, a detective. We want to give the brothers some love and his family some love on that. All right. Just to let you know that this is live and we are up to date on what's going on. Now, we're here, we're live, and we're doing what we can. Now, what I'm doing now, I'm trying to set up a Facebook Live and stream this thing so that way you guys will be able to kick in with us, you know? Letting us do it right now, but it is what it is. News feed. Okay, it's on the news feed. If one of you out there knows how to Facebook Live this thing, do it for me. Okay? But anyway, again, we're here. So what we're going to do now, we're going to bring our guest on, and we're going to let her tell you her story first and foremost. So I don't know if she wants me to tell everyone her name or any of that stuff. You know, that's her prerogative. I'll let her introduce herself. So we're going to bring her over here to the comfy couch so that she'll be in the chat. And there won't be no social distancing this time, even though we do promote that on the regular. Want to welcome you.
Thank you.
And your name is?
Robin Lee.
Robin Lee is with us. And what are we discussing with you today?
Well, we're discussing about opiates.
The opioids?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and exactly what, are you someone that has to take opioids?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay, you're going to have to speak up a little, make sure the mic picks you up.
Well, I have been sick for many years now.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, I have been diagnosed with a muscle disease, which is very, very painful.
So you're saying you're in constant pain 24/7?
Constant pain.
Okay, and you have pain meds?
Yes, but the thing is, since people is dying over dosing on pills.
So they're overdosing?
Yes,
okay.
Pills or what have you. You know, there's something to do with opiates. They want to cut off everyone that's taking meds. That
completely cut you off, or just cut your medicine down?
Actually, they were trying to completely cut people off.
So what are they trying to replace it with?
Nothing that I know of.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Now, I'm quite sure you go to a pain specialist or a doctor of some sort.
I go to a pain
so you're not just out here on the street getting pills.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay.
No.
So you go to a pain specialist. Now,
Yes.
what did your pain specialist tell you when you tell him how much pain you're in?
He knows I'm in pain. The state knows why I'm taking pain pills.
Hold up. You said the state knows. So that means that you are on state insurance?
Yes. And
So exactly when you're on state insurance, give them what that means.
what that means that every diagnose, everything, every medication that you take, the doctor gives you, they know.
Okay, so the diagnosis meaning the reason why you have to take the medicine.
Yes. Yes.
The state knows it.
Yes.
And so when they try to cut you off,
see, this is what they do. They threaten the doctor, their license, because it is so many doctors out there was crooked and doing it. And I understand that. And I understand the fact that it's getting in the wrong hands and people abusing it. But why would you take that out on people that, other patients that actually really need it?
Okay. So those who really need it have to suffer along with those who are abusing it.
Yes.
Is what you said.
Yes.
So those who've been going into medicine cabinets of their parents, those who were athletes who may have been teenagers and broke a leg or had a groin pull or whatever it may have been, like I played ball, I had a ruptured Achilles tendon. So they may have had something that they truly did need it in the beginning, but got hooked and didn't tell anybody that they were hooked. So they got out there and little by little things got out of hand. But for those like this young lady here who legitimately, as she said, has been in pain for years, that is on state insurance. So state insurance means, does that mean that you're on disability?
Yes.
You're on disability.
Yes, I am.
Because of your pain.
Yes, because of pain. I can't function. I can't work.
Okay.
This disease is crippling me.
Okay. Now, do you know about, I think you have it written down here. It's called rhabdomyolysis.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I did do my research. We don't just come on the air and be tripping. Rhabdomyolysis is a ailment, a muscle disease, whereby the muscle secretes a protein, and then that protein then in turn commits to eating the muscle, which causes constant pain. It makes them dehydrated. It makes them go through a whole lot of different things that look very similar to the symptoms of the COVID, matter of fact. And they have fevers and, again, the most important, constant pain, muscle pains. What are some of the tests that the doctors had to do to actually diagnose this ailment?
Well, it started off with electric shock on my arms and muscles.
So they shock your muscles to check to see which ones
that's the weakest.
So they're checking the density of the muscle.
Right.
Okay.
And they do it the legs, your arms, the shoulder.
Okay.
Then they stick needles in it. So they're trying to see how bad the muscle is breaking down.
Okay.
And once the muscle is doing is breaking down and putting protein all through the blood, which shuts down your kidneys.
Now, if it shuts down your kidneys, now is it anything that you can do to slow up the process of the kidneys? What can they do for you?
Well, I had a biopsy done on my thigh, on the right thigh. So now
I heard that you had a couple things go on with that biopsy.
Yes, I did. I had to have 3 surgeries behind it.
Just because, you had 3 surgeries because, I would say 3, including the biopsy. Okay, so from what I read in your information is that you had the biopsy, then the biopsy got fluid on it.
Right.
Then they had to go in to try to put a drain in to get the fluid off of that area where they had done the biopsy.
Yes.
They cut the skin right above the muscle in your thigh where you had the biopsy. Then that muscle in turn came through the skin like this.
Yeah.
And swole your leg up. You were in some more pain on top of the pain you were already feeling. So then you had to go back again and get surgery where they had to, they had to cut the skin down, push the muscle back inside. Yeah, because the muscle became a hernia. That's what it was. The muscle became herniated.
Yeah.
And so they had to push the muscle back in.
Yes.
And stitch it back up extra tight. And so after that, you had to go back through this pain thing for how long? A couple of weeks or a month? How long?
2.5 months.
2.5 months. Now, this whole process that you went through just with the biopsy started in what month? March or something like that? March, I think.
Was it?
Let me see. March.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, and it went what? You went back now. Your appointments were what, like every 3 weeks apart or a month apart? How long?
It was like every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. I'm talking about after you got the biopsy done. I mean, in going towards the biopsy and these other surgeries.
It was once a week, I believe. I'll be in so much pain. I can't.
Well, anyway, the whole process took about 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Just dealing with the biopsy part.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So now we're doing a genetic test, blood test.
So they did a genetic blood test on you.
And that result won't be in until October.
Okay.
And what that's supposed to tell is why did I have this disease?
And once they find out why, they may be able to find out how to treat it.
Maybe and maybe not.
Okay.
Or B.
Okay, so the reason we're going through this whole thing, just with this latest point, because it's really significant to what we're talking about tonight. Because tonight we're talking about this because we're talking about the opioid crisis and how many people legitimately need their medicine and are not abusing their medicine, but their medicine is going to eventually be cut down or even possibly cut completely off.
But like, here's the thing, like I said, that the state knows everything.
Because you have state insurance.
Absolutely.
You're on disability.
Yes.
And that means the insurance has to get the diagnosis in order to keep your disability going or to fund your insurance. So that means that the state knows legitimately that she needs the medicine, but yet they're using a broad brush and painting everybody the same. And those who legitimately need their medicine are suffering along with those who are abusing the medicine.
And I understand, they tight on that because it is people that is abusing.
Right.
It's people that's dying, and and I don't want to see nobody that. And if you don't need it, don't take it.
If you don't need it, don't take it.
Why would you take something just to
get high?
High off of it?
Yeah. Well, that is what some people do. If you want to log in onto this conversation, and we will be bringing her back once you see this particular video, because I know you want to talk and find out more. Now, I know that you have tried contacting a congressman or a congresswoman, Brenda Lawrence, which in turn sent you to go back to your state rep and your state senators. But it's an election year, and quite simply, you don't know exactly who, at that time, you didn't know who was going to be who, because it's the election year. Now that you know who might be who, because we know who's on the Democratic side in Wayne County and Detroit, but the election is not over until November 3rd. So not to wish any ill will, but some of those running for the Democratic seats could legitimately lose, because Michigan does have a majority Republican legislature up in Lansing, state capital. Now, because of this Republican legislature is the reason why she's going through a lot of the things that she's going through. There have been so many things over the last 20 plus years that the Republican legislature here in Michigan has done that has basically been totally against its citizenry. But that's something for another show. Anyway, so Ms. Lee, if you could tell the people something that would maybe take the stigma off of folks who have to get medicine, that they're not those things, what could you tell them that you could really make them understand that those of you who legitimately need your medicine, as opposed to cats who just popping pills like jelly beans or out there shooting up stuff, what could you tell them as far as like what you needing your medicine? What could you tell them?
You know, why would they want to see anyone in pain? And
look into this camera right here.
Why
and talk to the state reps and state senators.
Why would you let a person that's in chronic pain and knowing that they are in chronic pain? Because, like I say, the state knows everything. When you get your prescription filled, the diagnosis. So if you know this, that this person needs, and I wish I didn't have to take it. I wish I didn't have to take it. I wish I wasn't sick. But to do people that's not abusing medication, and just the fact that just cut everybody off and say, like you don't care, let them be in pain, and let them, you know, I mean, that's not right.
So you say they're saying let them be in pain or let them die is legitimately what this means. You're just going to cut people medicine completely off.
The pain doctors, the real doctors, snatching your license. And
now you've heard the doctor say that.
Yeah.
And can you tell me what the doctor said?
When I went to my pain doctor, he was like, they own me. They want to snatch my license. And I know that you're sick. And I know your diagnosis. And I know that you're not abusing. You're not selling it. You're not physical. But they own it. They want to take this doctor's license.
So what did he tell you when he didn't? Then she just happens to have a good doctor. Her doctor legitimately told her that he would go to court.
Go to court.
He said, I'm not going to cut you off. They're going to have to take my license, right?
Exactly. That's what he said.
But the flip side is they might just do it.
They might just do it. And which is wrong. That's wrong. You have like elderly people. They doing that to them too.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a hospital a couple of months ago, a few months ago. And it was a nurse that worked, and she was my nurse. And we was talking about it. And her mom was real sick.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to give her mom. They wanted to cut her mom off her medication.
Mm-hmm.
Her medication. And her mom was like 80-something years old.
Mm.
That lady not abusing her medication. That lady ain't out there selling no medication. Everybody is not abusing pain meds.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's true, it's a lot of people out there that's abusing it, getting high, selling it, and don't care.
Now the flip side of that part too. Now imagine those of you out there in the audience, if you could not get your pain medicine, those of you who legitimately need it, how many of you wouldn't start going to the street to try to find something else? If you can't get what you need, you're going to get what you can't. So that also forces people into the street to do the wrong thing because they can't get what they're supposed to get when they're trying to do the right thing.
Right.
So even some of the ones that are getting it on the street is because of these knuckleheads in the legislature, these knuckleheads in Congress, these knuckleheads in the Senate on both sides of the aisle that are not paying attention to how this thing is supposed to go. As we started off, life, liberty, happiness is what the Constitution said. When you take a person's medicine from them and they're sick, you mess with their life, their liberty, and their happiness. That's not how it's supposed to go. What's wrong with y'all out there? Why are y'all just painting everybody with a broad brush? Why are y'all not looking in depth? Well, but then again, I know why. I remember looking at that video 911 that Michael Moore did, and John Conyers was on there, and Michael Moore asked John Conyers, why is this going through like this? How can this legislation go through? And John Conyers said, come here, my son. Let me talk to you, my son. Some of this legislation is 10,000 pages, and they'll bring it to the table the next day, or the day before. Do you actually think we have time to read all of that? No matter how many interns or page boys or whatever they got there, or assistants, is no way these people can read all of this legislation. But there is a way. Don't put it on the table till you read it, man. Then that way you can make sure that people are not getting ganked. And for those of you in the most intelligent community, gank means being misused and possibly not being treated right. Okay? But I keep it real. You know, we keep it 100. We're from Detroit. We're not from Hollywood and none of them other places. I keep it real. I keep it 100. All right, Ms. Lee.
Thank you.
Is it anything that you want to leave with the audience that you think could? I'll say this. Let me help you a little bit. Do you think that they should write their congressmen, their senators,
Yes,
their city council people,
yes, I do.
the president, whichever one is going to be in there after
Right.
November 3rd?
Yes, I do.
And
Because they need to really look into that, and stop painting a picture like everybody
that's using opioids or is being prescribed.
right. That's
Opioid.
on abuse it or they selling it. You are because you also here's the thing. When you now instead of if you are prescribed pain pills, when you go get your refill your script, you have to drop. They take you.
So they're drug testing you basically.
Absolutely, CRT.
So so if you have to drop, that means, and I'm gonna say this because I understand it because I used to work at a methadone clinic, and some people were supposed, and some guys would bring a little girl's urine, 30. So that means any of them, if they're having to drop and they're supposed to be taking a certain amount of to be in their system. If it's not in their system, that means they're selling. Well,
thank you.
We're gonna wish you the best, and hopefully thing will work itself out. And we're not gonna just leave this alone. We're gonna continually bring this up right here on the Hodo Show and the Other Viewpoint. So I want to thank you very much for coming on the program this evening, and we're gonna keep fighting for you.
Thank you so much.
All right. All right. Okay, we're gonna keep it moving on because I don't have no commercials or any sponsors yet because we're brand new. So we're just gonna let it all flow. We're gonna keep it flowing, y'all. So those of you out there on Facebook and YouTube, hopefully you will start sharing this thing and you'll log in tonight. And if not, we're still gonna put the program on whether you log in or not. And again, if you do by chance decide to log in, you can give us a call. You don't just have to put little funny comments. I don't like reading all that extra stuff. No, my eyes ain't the best. I have to wear these spectacles sometimes. But give us a call at 313-685-6777. That's 313-685-6777. RNC and the DNC, which were the Republican National Conference and the convention and the Democratic National Convention that happened over the last 2 weeks. Now, I got to that mug was long that night he was on there. It was exceptionally long. Dude had all these people speaking who were reading every other word off the teleprompters as they were reading. Then after all of that, dude spoke for an hour and some. I'm talking about the president, Mr. Trump, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Spoke for over an hour. Then, you know, he deports folks, right? He tries to get rid of immigrants, doesn't he? He doesn't want immigrants in America. But yet, after he accepted the nomination, you know, as president for the Republican side and finished up, or so we thought, he had an opera singer singing Italian. Singing Italian, y'all. Italians were immigrants. You know, I thought he was trying to get rid of the immigrants and slow. And so, and I got a question for you. The majority of Americans, or those of you in America, how many of you speak Italian? So when this cat was singing to y'all, do y'all know what he was saying? I didn't. I don't know what the cat was singing. And not only did he do one song, but he did 3 songs. He did old Negro spiritual though, too, you know. That was in English. But the other 2 songs in Italian. The other 2, they were in Italian. Then came the fireworks. I ain't talking about people fighting. I'm talking about legitimate fireworks that were spectacular. Even spelled out Trump. Amidst the fireworks. Interesting. And how much taxpayer money was spent on that? Okay. Then at the particular convention, that last night had to be about 2,000 people there. The benefit of the doubt. Might have been 20 people there with masks on. Not really, but about 20 people with masks on. Out of about 2,000. Sitting side by side like this here. He had to give them the extra long pause to make sure that they clapped. I can't tell you exactly what he was saying because he said the same thing so many times and it was getting kind of redundant, so I kind of quit listening, you know. He was speaking in circles quite a bit. I kind of quit listening. But I'm in about 30 seconds or 20 seconds of pause. To make sure that they And if you paused a long time, that means you're supposed to stand up and clap too, not just clap, stand up and clap. And if you were like me, when they put the camera on the audience, I pay very close attention to the people in the audience. Some cats was bending over on their cell phones all up in here. One dude was like this. Huh? That wasn't the majority of them, but I, a couple people, right? That thing was long, man. Went from 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. That's the time zone I'm in, till after midnight. That's over 4 hours or so. It was almost 12:30 when the real news came on, the local news. I watched his daughter get up there and, as per usual, put some stuff out there that's not necessarily so. And these people were, I have not seen. Well, one thing I did learn, there are a lot of people in the Republican Party. Y'all read very well. I give y'all that. Y'all can read. Y'all on that teleprompter like white on rice, man. Y'all was reading. Oh man. Now since I didn't start saying this stuff, now I'm getting some my good points. I'll start messing with the signal. Y'all should do that on broadcast TV. That's why I'm here on YouTube. I ain't think y'all let that happen too. Anyway. His daughter, his wife brought a lot of solace, even though at least this time she didn't steal Michelle Obama's speech, I watched folks lie about how the COVID was handled. He is messed up still. No matter how many jobs came back, how many people are laid off. Those are the things that when the ones laid off and the new ones go to work together, then you say, oh, the jobs are back. The jobs are not back if 50,000, excuse me, is that 50,000? 50 million people are out of work, going to flow properly until the COVID is under control. These United States of America, nothing until you get someone that will keep the COVID manageable. Find ways, and it is ways to keep it manageable. First of all, well, anyway, I'm not going to go through that part. I said I was going to talk about the Democratic and Republican conventions. But basically, I'll give Donald Trump and the Republican Party this. They produced a very good 4-day infomercial that looked like a reality series, because reality series aren't reality. They're scripted, meaning you put a certain scenario out there and see how the people handle it. Handle it. So, if y'all fall for this okie doke that they would spew at y'all, it's just sad that y'all fell for it 4 years ago, but after living through it, come on, man. Y'all know better than that. Now over to the Democratic side. Now, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm an independent. Whoever makes the most sense is usually who I vote for. You know, I don't believe in that lesser of two evils stuff, because the lesser of two evils is still evil. Trump administration tell you that the night that he spoke, if he was sleepy, he for doggone sure and woke up now, man. He was very insightful, very confident from what he appeared that night. Kamala Harris has been chosen to be the first president, period. They had started doing the birther stuff on her like they did with President Obama. You know, Donald Trump and his crew was behind that first time. So this time they had his wife, President Trump's wife, Melania. She was kind of sort of, you know, shooting the birther stuff a little bit too. The Statue of Liberty tells you to bring us, you know, your immigrants, basically. I'm not going to go through the whole thing that says, you know, tells them folks to come on. Then I heard them make a statement that, well, Kamala Harris, her mother's from India, her father's not from here, she's not an African American. Let me tell y'all something. To be legitimately certain about what y'all saying, make sure that y'all are. The truth of the matter is, there is no such thing as an American in the first place. Because two objects cannot occupy the exact same time. We cannot be African Americans. For those of you who wanted to give up being black, can't be Negroes, we're more African Americans, we're more. Well, the word more means black. Huh? How you know this, Hodo? Because I did it on some of the tombs of the Moors, where they were able to define what they were saying, and it said that the word more meant black. For those of you who don't like this. Huh? And the word Kemet means land. We're black people. y'all like it or not, we're black people. And that's the only thing that we used to have consensus about. You know, all I know is that every so many years, people come and try to change who we are. You know, we went from being black people to becoming Negroes, to Negras, colored, and we can't be colored because colored means you got multiple colors on you. Now you might have multiple colors in you because you know all of the race mixing and stuff, but multiple colors on you because you can see colored, meaning like pink lips, red hair, orange face sometimes, you see blue eyes. That's colored. Black people are not colored. We've been called Afro-Americans. Afro is a hairstyle. I used to have one back in the day. We're not Afro-Americans anymore. We're not African-Americans. We're not Negroes. Black people. Now, y'all might not agree with me, but, you know, that's que sera, sera. Whatever it will be, you know? All right. So after they tried this birther stuff on Kamala, which is not working time, thank goodness. Didn't work last time either, but, you know, people didn't really pay attention to that too much. You had Michelle Obama, who shot it back at Donald Trump the way that he spit it at her, or spit it out at us, basically, and said, boom, it is what it is. You know, after she jammed him up. And y'all have seen the news. I'm not going to go through all of this stuff in depth like that, not this time. This is the first show. And I want y'all to kind of sort of, all right. And let's see. The Democratic Convention also was lacking in a bunch of people reading the teleprompter. They were speaking from their hearts and their heads. Because they were so scared they were going to lose their place, the eyes were like this. So we know that they were reading. And then some who wore glasses, if you paid close attention, if you looked right in the corner of the glasses, you could actually see the teleprompter in their glasses. But again, those from the Democratic side was not necessarily produced, or they had some hell of a memorization going on. Huh? and even the parts like, and I hate to say this, but the lady and her husband with her daughter got killed, and that's sad that she was over in the Middle East and got killed. You know these things, so it'll be because I went to school for broadcast and script writing a little bit. And when you say certain things, you always tell to get that sentimental moment, you have someone grab the hand and you look at each other like this, ever so dogging them for it, because it's a sad thing that their daughter got killed. It is. But I do recognize when something is produced, you know? And hopefully from this little bit that I just told you, some of you or most of you will be able to recognize when something is produced as well. Huh? Okay. The Democratic convention, they said that Joe Biden did not tell you guys what his plans were. Dude got a whole folks won't read for themselves. They expect somebody to tell them everything. And that is why people across this nation have been getting ganked so much, because they won't read for themselves. Huh? You have to read. You have to read. So then you go after them. You know, this ain't 1842. It's the 2020. So that means everything you need to know, for the most part, is online. And with this COVID cures. But anyway, so he says what he needed to say. He spoke from the heart. He said he's the soul of America. He said that he wants to bring the country back together. You know, Donald Trump said he wanted to bring America to, bring it back, make America great again. Huh? A lot of you knew what that meant when he said that, because a lot of you were getting busted upside their heads. Huh? That nonsensical law and order crap. Huh? Well, I'm here to tell you, people, our place when you act crazy is in your face. So calm it down. Let us all get along. Let us all treat. It didn't say that. They love ye one another. Even though y'all tell that lie, y'all know better than that. You ain't got to love everybody, but you should show everybody respect. Treat everyone with dignity. Respect. Treat everyone with dignity. One time I went on a job interview, and in high school they used to teach you put on tight suit you can't breathe, a business suit, huh? And so you put on a suit and tie and you go in, and you have your resume together. That I believe that, and I was in either Warren, no, Hazel Park, I think it was back then, and there's some little small factory, and I was sitting there, and everybody, and I just happened to be the only one of color, the only black man in the joint who was trying to apply for this job. Now, stood out with a suit and a tie on. I'm like, yeah, I did what they taught me in school. I should be a cinch to get this thing going on, promote myself, because an interview ain't nothing but a time for you to promote yourself, right? So I go up in this joint, and the supervisor sits there, and he asked me a couple questions, and I thought I gave some pretty good answers. And the whole time he was looking at me kind of, because I took a bath before I got there, man. It was all said and done. Dude said this to me. He said, man, I would hire you, but you dress better than I do. So I can't hire you. Now, I couldn't go say that he said that because nobody else was in the room but me and him. I couldn't prove he said it, even though he did say it. And I can tell as many people as I want. But that's what happens. A society that has been based on those who control the wealth, controlling everything, and helping those of their own, as opposed to making the playing field level so that everyone has an opportunity. Huh? I remember James Brown had a song. He said, I don't want nobody. Give me nothing. Open up the door and I get it myself. Do you hear me? Huh? I don't want nobody giving me nothing. Just open up the door. You know, when you open up the door, you need to get out the way too. And I get it myself. Man. Huh? So that means that those of you who are because Kamala Harris has been nominated to be the vice president of these United States, which means I know why y'all mad. Because if something were to happen to Joe Biden, he becomes the president. I know why y'all mad. Y'all really, you know, I got you. I understand. Y'all don't want it to go back. To tell you, some of us have been in the fight to make sure that things change for a long time. So the juxtaposition from the Democratic convention to the Republican convention, the Democrats were more real, and the Republicans read pretty well, and they did some heart-wrenching stuff more. You know, I mean, yeah, the Democrats had some folks who family members died of COVID, but that's true. And anybody that tells you we have it under control, y'all don't have nothing under control. I've had over 20 of my friends to die. COVID. For you fools who say that's fake news. Some of my close friends, my martial arts instructors that taught me from when I was a child, Kalindi Ayi and Cordell Hall. Those two stand out the most to me because I knew them since I was a child. My best friend. every time Snap would see me, he'd hug me and give me a kiss on my. But you know, for the silly people, that's fake news. For the white folks saying that either. I've seen some so-called Negroes not agreeing with him, unless he said, "Hey, yeah, I screwed up, y'all, and I know I messed up, and I've been racist. I've called the black countries asshole countries, and y'all forgot about that part, right? They call black people's country. Did y'all forget when he went down there after the hurricane hit Puerto Rico and shot paper towel at him like he was playing hoops? The people who just went through a catastrophe. Did y'all forget that? Huh? Really? How soon you forget? Huh? How could you in your right mind forget that a man called countries inside the motherland shithole countries? How could you forget that? What's wrong with you, man? Now, the only one up there that was black that I could see that may have, you know, given Trump. Remember, that wasn't Trump's idea because she had been in there too long. But prior to that, you know, Obama is the one that said to reduce the sentences of non-violent criminals. So her sentence was going to be lessened anyway. Or did Trump do away with that? But anyway, I digress. She's the only one that legitimately that was black that stood up there that had a legitimate reason to have praised Trump. The rest of them Negroes, you know, really? I don't think so. So, the Democratic convention was more heartfelt for those who paid attention, and the Republican convention, they and slipped in a lot of. This is the first time that legitimately, at least since I've been on the planet, that and half paying attention, a guy who's supposed to be the leader of the United States of America lie and lie and lie and lie and lie. And when the news brings the facts, some of you not too bright ones say that's fake news. Okay. Then this weekend, just before the weekend, a couple of hurricanes hit down near Texas, tore up a lot of stuff in Louisiana. And, you know, I've been in this media thing, as I said, about 30 years now. And all that stuff. Well, you're trying to say that these folks got more power than God. White people do. Mostly them. So you're saying, and this stuff, I know it's all over YouTube and y'all done seen, and I got a few of the videos myself that I've had over the years where they talk, who's the Illuminati? Well, they're a secret organization. They're a secret organization? Yeah, the Illuminati, you hadn't heard of them? Yeah, I've heard of them. Well, me too. The secret organization that everybody knows about still secret. Hmm? I've never heard of a secret organization that everybody knew about. Y'all been calling all kind of people part of the Illuminati. And then as I look, some of these folks who are so-called selling out as being part of the Illuminati and all this different stuff, when for their lawyers, when people who have been hit by catastrophes, some of these same people that you called out have been the ones sending their jets with food and water to save people. Huh? I thought the Illuminati wanted to get folks off the planet, not save the folks so they can stay here longer. Like, it was secret. It started off a certain way. I mean, I know about all of those things that some of you are just finding out about. Some of y'all talking about brothers from another planet. Say that. See, I'm just gonna call out all the misnomers that I've called out over the years. A reacquaintance time for the world and Hodo. And I'm Hodo, you see. This is kind of a real acquaintance time for us. So, as I was saying, some of you say that, except I want you to go to any biologist, anthropologist, genealogist, geneticist, and have them do a deep dive. Those of you who said that Black people are from another planet, go deep dive into your genetic code and find one, not two, just one element in your body that is not a part of the earth. Just one element. Then I could go with you. If you found two, then I'm gonna fly with you. That is in your body, that is from outside of the earth, that's not a part of the earth. We're gonna crush misnomers, man. It's time out for us thinking about it and using us as a sponge for urine. That was that Donald Trump moment where you got to clap it, got to be quiet, make sure that they heard. Yeah, using us as a sponge for urine. Time out for that, man. After all this time, black people, we should be smarter than that. People, period. Not just black people, across the board. There's a black woman, but her mother is from India. Yeah, them black people too. Those are black people too. Yes. Mm-hmm. They've been around a long time. Black people. So let's and white people, and it's about right thinking people. It's about treating each other with respect and dignity. It's about a lie. What color is the grass? What color is the tree? What color is an orange? What color is the what color is an orange? An apple, a pear. And apples come in multiple colors: yellow, red, green. Huh? So quit that lie about I'm colorblind. We're gonna be a colorblind citizen. Oh, you're not. Quit lying. Quit lying. There's nothing wrong with seeing color, or worse than the one standing next to you if their color is different than you. Then you are living a sad turn of life. Yeah, because we've been killing us that everybody boycotts, including ourselves. People coming in the hood. You don't see any Arabs getting gas from a black gas station. We don't see very many white people unless they kind of sort of down on their luck, even in the hood shopping, anywhere. So, yes, Black Lives Matter. Black people have to recognize that. White people have to recognize that. Chinese people have to recognize that. And every other nationality has to recognize that as well. We kill each other so much. We kill ourselves so much. Folks don't respect us at all. I mean, it started off they didn't respect us at all anyway. Folks, now we lynch each other. Huh? The same way that the Europeans who came to America used to do the drive-by on the so-called American Indians, the natives. Except for they wasn't driving, they were riding a horse, shooting up. The first time I ever seen in my lifetime that all races of people have come together to say something positive about Black people, saying your life matters to yourself. So that way, life matters. Huh? Anything. I could very well put some out there though, so that you can think a little bit if you got a little time on your hands and you don't have much to do but hit a blunt or turn up a fire. Turn some blocks. Think a little bit. Turn into the birds. Like the birds. Some places here, like here in Michigan, has already started. They flew out. Now they're flying back. Cause you can always follow them. Always. I got to run to. Well, it's frankly the school education on to it. Huh? Yeah, quite a few people. Well, shoot, two that stand out in my head throughout history that said for us to teach ourselves. You got Marcus Garvey right there, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who just happens to be up there next to my father. Both those two gentlemen, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Hosea Marcus Garvey, both said this corona and all this kind of thing, you'd have already had something set up. I mean, here we are on YouTube, the greatest educational thing ever devised for man. I was talking about, I don't know how we can get all the family about this, because we got a lot of teachers in my family. That's just how it's been. A lot of the Black people from back in the day, they would send their children to school to be teachers so they can come back and teach the community so that things would get better. And then as things started getting better, and I want to go live in the city and get out of here, leaving your brother and sister, for the most part, that they've had. Every time somebody's trying to they come up, I'm going to get out the ghetto. Ain't wrong with getting out the ghetto, but the ghetto will always be with you, no matter how much you fake the funk. When you still heals us here in Michigan, these are the so-called well-to-do neighborhoods. I don't care if you say the Palmer Woods, Grosse Pointe, Sherwood Forest. In the burbs, you run. The hood may be with you. And you know how I know? The hood be like jumping all out your throat. So don't fake the funk. I want to get away from the hood. No, you don't. Because the hood is a part of it. Well, those dumb darkies, those are really saying. Don't you know that the most brilliant minds in the world have come out of the black ghetto? Some of the most heart-touching, some of the greatest athletes on the planet came out of the black ghetto. Huh? Don't run from it. Yeah, I stay right where I grew up at. Don't give me that before you can go there. Squash that. Huh? I have to. I see my computer battery is getting low. And I don't want to die that is for the bidding. And that is get somebody to put a cord in this computer, because during my time, and we're still live on air. All right. That's what happens when you keep it real. That's one thing I did. Please stick around and work with me, and it'll get better. Equipment to make it better. These misnomers that are supposed to help with the COVID. You got people who are throw some lemons and some oranges, huh? Like y'all trying to make fruit soup, huh? Into a big old a major boil, and stick your head in this big over this big, again citrus soup. Put your head down in there like this here, and let all them fumes and steam go up your noses and stuff. The only difference was you would bring the pot to a boil, take the pot off of the heat, pour some water in a bowl or something, put a towel over your head, circulate. It wasn't constantly boiling and you sniffing and inhaling fumes. You can't talk to me, huh? You can't talk to me up their nose, and burning brain cells. All the cooking brain cells in the name of fighting the COVID. Me? Well, you know, those doctors, they're giving you fake news, huh? They're giving you fake of stuff. It's safe. Really? Now, and it's mostly been people, elders, that I've seen doing this stuff. Huh? The elders, they not, that's the, or the country, they letting y'all fool people just do that. They're not saying a word. Because they know doggone well that when they were inhaled in steam and stuff, still boiling. Huh? How many times when you was a child, someone on the stove boiling, don't put your hand over that boiling water? Huh? Now your hand is tougher than your membranes up in your nose. You know how many people who have gotten burns from doing that? Check it and see if the stuff, huh? Y'all say the COVID is not real. Well, how did my friends die if the COVID friends gotten sick? If the COVID is not real. Huh? I just want to understand this thing. Besides something you done seen on one of these social media pages, cause somebody that you know their back physiology, you don't know if they know anything about genetics, you don't know if they know basic biology. And you pushing this okie doke. Do you realize that if you burn the membranes up inside your nose to get sick? And because you hadn't gotten sick thus far, does not. Other ones, you don't want to wear masks. To breathe your stanky, poisonous breath on folks if you got COVID and infect them. You don't have that right. If a store owner without a mask you must have on a mask, you're supposed to have one on. It's like you walk in, somebody walks up in your house and says, I'm going to wipe turds all over. But if you got COVID and you spread it on folks, it's the same kind of thing. Jeremy, huh? Put your mask on. Save some lives. Sit to when did people